Hello and welcome to the training on student-centered versus teacher-centered. So if you'd like instructions on how to use Pear Deck, you can click on the black box here and it will open up a new video to give you instructions on how to use Pear Deck yourself. I'm not going to do that right now though. So the objectives for this training are that participants will be able to categorize activities as student-centered or teacher-centered and explain which type of lesson is better for student learning. So what is the best lesson you've ever taught and why? My best lesson. That's hard for me to think of. I think I did one activity, or I've done a few jigsaw activities or classes that had jigsaw activities in them that I thought were really enjoyable. Okay, so let's read this. Teacher-centered. The teacher-centered approach to education is very traditional. Following this model, teachers are the center of attention and source of all knowledge in the classroom. The teachers present information and students are expected to pay attention and learn from them. The students simply receive the knowledge and the teacher gives them. Some examples of teacher-centered activities include lecture and question and answer. Okay, so let's look at some advantages and disadvantages of a teacher-centered class. Some advantages. It's simpler classroom management, so everyone's kind of sitting down. The teachers know ahead of time exactly what will happen each day, and teachers create quality information for the students. Some disadvantages of teacher-centered approach are students are not as engaged. They're kind of just sitting there listening to the teacher or watching the teacher. Students do not have the opportunity to collaborate, so they're not able to work together. Students do not develop communication or critical thinking skills as they are just sitting there listening or watching. Hey, what is the best definition of the teacher-centered approach? So we have teachers are the source of all knowledge. Students have many choices. Teachers allow students to work independently. I think it's teachers are the source of all knowledge. Okay, correct. So excellent. Awesome. Okay, student-centered. The student-centered approach to education requires students to be active learners. They participate in class in a variety of ways. In this approach, teachers act more like coaches. They present students with tasks and guide the students as they complete the activities. The teacher is there to help, but the focus is on the students. Some examples of student-centered activities include projects, experiments, and debates. So let's look at some advantages and disadvantages of a student-centered class. So some advantages are students are engaged. Students work together like they would in the workforce. Students develop communication and critical thinking skills. Some disadvantages are the classroom can seem loud and unorganized, especially if lots of people are talking. Teachers must be flexible and adapt lessons as they are teaching. Students may not be learning the exact same information. So what is the best definition of the student-centered approach? So teachers are the source of all knowledge. Students pay attention only to the teacher. Teachers act like coaches and students are active participants. So I think it's that one there. Hey, correct. Awesome. Student-centered versus teacher-centered. Each approach to teaching has its advantages and disadvantages. So which is better? Although the traditional teacher-centered approach makes teaching easier for the teacher, it is not as beneficial for student learning. Since the goal of all education should be student learning, teachers should be willing to sacrifice some of their time and energy for their students. Teachers have to work hard to create effective, student-centered lessons, but it is beneficial for students to be autonomous in the classroom. When they work actively and independently, they learn much better. Is the following example student-centered or teacher-centered? So students answer comprehension questions when the teacher asks them during class. It's kind of just focusing on comprehension, so that would probably be more teacher-centered. Okay. Good, awesome. Students watch as a teacher shows them how to solve a math problem. So they're just watching, that's teacher-centered. Okay. The teacher presents a problem to students. Students create an equation to solve the problem. That's student-centered. Good, awesome. That's correct. Is the following example student-centered or teacher-centered? Teachers are always the center of attention. Students quietly listen to them. So that's teacher-centered. Awesome. Students work together to answer a challenging question. More than one answer may be correct. Student-centered. Will you teach with a teacher-centered approach or a student-centered approach? Why? Student-centered approach, as it increases critical thinking skills in the students. Okay. How easy, difficult was this training? I'll put neutral. How satisfied was I? I'll put neutral. Okay. So the end. So thank you very much for joining me for this training. If you'd like to see any more resources, you can check it out here, and you can try the training yourself. I will also have the link attached. Thank you. Bye-bye.